want to welcome Helena and all of the Aylward family and the extended family. And just to remind colleagues of that chill that runs down your back when you hear the next generation or the next generation after that making their first contribution to Dáil Éireann. And I'm sure that that wouldn't be lost on Bobby if he was here today. I want to say that I served with Bobby on the County Council. I served with him here. I served with Liam. I knew his father, Bob, as a young man in politics, where he would be addressing meetings in the Metropole Hotel. I soldiered with Liam Aylward. And in all of that time, I learned from all of the Aylwards that family and community are the keystones to their political beliefs. Everything stems from that. And when Bobby came in here to contribute either at a committee meeting or in the Dáil chamber, he held firm to those beliefs. In the parliamentary party meetings of Fianna Fáil, he held firm to those beliefs and was not afraid to take on a minister or anyone else that had a view that watered down the republicanism of the party or of the policy that was at that time being discussed. But he was never angry. He was always a gentleman. Now, that hid the fact, and I hear you all making your contributions here today, the fact that he was a formidable figure, representing a formidable family. And when they went canvassing, well, you ain't seen nothing like it. Nothing stood in their way to attempt to get elected. And again, that goes back to family, community. And on the day that Paul Shefflin was buried, and Bobby led out the Guard of Honour, he was in an advanced stage of, illness. He was very weak. Triana was there with him, I think, and we chatted as we left the graveyard that day. But what struck me about that day was the sense of community and the sense of place. And the Shamrocks turned out, the GAA turned out, Fianna Fáil turned out in their numbers. And all of the colleagues from the other political parties and none who travelled to the constituency to pay tribute to Bobby Aylward and to his family, to express their sympathy and to come together as a community in support of someone that they had had lost. And that day when I spoke to Bobby, he was extremely weak, but yet he turned out and walked the distance for his club and his club member. And that, in my opinion, underpins his commitment to GAA, Shamrocks, the family, and so on. And I would say that it would be remiss not to mention Mark and his role in the game next Sunday. I know that Bobby would be proud of it, and to wish the Shamrocks victory over Ballygunners. I'm sure it's okay to say that here. But I also remember in the by-election, and in doing so, I want to acknowledge the past members that are in the public gallery. That is not just ourselves here paying tribute to Bobby Aylward. As friends, and you've turned out today to be part of this celebration of Bobby Aylward and his contribution to Fianna Fáil, to Irish politics, and to his own community. I know the party is represented by Sean Dorgan, I see him there, and other people that worked with Bobby who became his friends too. Joe Malone is there in the gallery from the Kilkenny City Vocational School Board, and I know that Bobby Aylward in his day made a huge contribution to the development of that city vocational school. And they acknowledged through Cathy McSorley that contribution that he made. I came close to Bobby, I think, because we sat over there in those benches, had to sit together, forced to sit together when we were voting. So during that time, we shared stories that we may never have shared had that not been the case, because of the competitiveness of, you know, constituency colleagues and so on. And I only got to know then that he did the crossword over a cup of tea. I only got to know then that he loved those videos you could get up with a bit of crack on them on the telephone. But I also found that every single case that would have come to him, he knew it intimately, and he was prepared to go that extra mile for that person, for that community project. In whatever he had to do, go that extra mile. So I have fond memories of Bobby. In the 2015 by-election, someone said that he was the authentic voice of rural Ireland, and that was very true. And to the last day that he served here, he served rural Ireland, he served the people of Carlow-Kilkenny, and he made a very definite, positive contribution. And the Aylward family, all of you, can feel very, very proud of what Bobby did. And the other man I'll mention before I go is Barry Cowan here, because in 2015, he was given the unenviable task of pulling together two dynasties that were at each other for a lifetime in order to win that by-election. And I don't think anyone else could have done it better than Barry. So to all of you, may he rest in peace, and you can feel comfort out of the huge contribution that he made to this party and to the country. Yeah.